You're on YouTube.
Thank you very much, Chief Pinchas. Thank you very, very, very much. Okay, we get started. Shalom, shalom, shalom lekulam, shavua tov lekulam, tzadikim and tzadakot. How are we? Baruch Hashem. My sincere apology for, my mind was telling him something. Well, I mess up on a time zone difference between here and there. But Baruch Hashem, your patience is very appreciated. Thank you very, very much. I think we get started. Welcome to our limud, to our viewers on the different platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and etc. Thank you very much for joining us, our limud. Thank you very much. Welcome, Shalva and Rabbeinu Hamidia and Natalia.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Olga. Baruch Hashem itbarach. Let's start with our limud. We have got an hour to discuss, to learn. To learn Torah. In the group, I have posted a video clip made by one of the rabbis. As you probably saw in the video clip, this rabbi is saying at the beginning, he started pleading for tzedakah, for prayers, for Klal Israel, for the congregation of Israel. And toward the end of welcome Tzadik Kalomo, thank you to our limud. So at the end of his video clip, he talked about the case of Ham. And they also quoted the Sanhedrin, Masechet Sanhedrin, that speaks about the Bnei Ham. Bnei Ham, meaning the children of Ham, who went to Alexander the Great. Claiming that the land of Canaan was occupied by the descendant of Ham. So therefore, it belongs to the children of Ham. And the rabbis went on to say, you Africans, Africa, you Africans. That's a general term he used. And in the middle of his narrative, he went on to explain, to say, you Africans, if you are claiming to be a descendant of Ham, then you are a slave, or you are slaves. So that means, so what the Torah says, that Ham is a slave of slaves, according to the rabbi, and what he said and what he's insinuating is that that case still stands. In a general picture that he portrayed, he said, well, We the Africans, we are still, all that case is still stands on us. That is what he insinuated. So, yeah, we have heard. I wanted to touch a little bit. I wanted to touch a little bit on, or to comment. Yeah, to touch a bit on what the rabbi has said, with due respect to him. This kind of stigma it's a melody. From the Jewish perspective, we talk about tikkun olam, the fixing the world. And from the nations of the world, we talk about peace. And we talk about coexistence. What does it mean that you are a slave of slaves, and you talk about the case? Is this a case from Noah? We know there are some opinion by the sages that, well, the word of the tzaddik stands. But does it really stand for eternity, whatever that eternity is? Or does it have got, or is it generational, meaning it only limited to a specific generation? Because there we see that the Torah says no child will be punished for the transgression of the parents. Does it only apply, or that is it a perpetual punishment, meaning it's something that we carry, or something that should be carried from generation to generation, or it's only limited to a specific generation? That if it was Ham, if it was Canaan who was punished, then it ends there. It should not go to his children. If it was meant for Ham, does it go beyond that? So the rabbi did not explain. And I wanted to, with a due respect to my fellow rabbi, I think, my dear fellow rabbi, you needed to consult first before you make such a statement, because that stigma is not something that should come from a person of Torah. I tell you why. I'm not too sure whether you have consulted the book called the Book of Yashar. Ari Kadosh mentioned or make reference to this book, and not only him. The book of Shemuel also make a mention of, or mentioned about this book. That means it's a book that spans for thousands of years, probably before you came into existence. And probably because before Bnei Israel came into being. Or immediately they came into being. Let me remind my fellow rabbi that your argument does not stand before a Torah scholar like yourself, should not stand before a Torah student. The book of Yashar says, among other things, these are the children of Shem, the son of Ham. These are the children of Shem, the son of Ham. That means the Shem that you, or Shem, that most of you believe and understand that is where Abraham sprang from. The book of Yashar proved to you otherwise, because you have been claiming it to be, or the Torah to be connected to genetic. So the book of Yashar says that Shem is a son of Ham. That means Abraham that you said is your father. In all our literatures, in the Torah, and all other literatures, in the Talmud, in Midrashim, and also the teaching of Mekubalim, we say this on a daily basis in Amida. Now, if Ham was cursed, as you said, let's deduce this. If Ham was cursed, the father of Shem, that means Abraham himself is part of that sin, of that punishment. Is part of that too. You did not give us the reason as to why he shouldn't be. My dear good friend, my fellow rabbi, you did not also consult the work of the Mekubalim. Specifically here, I'm referring to Ariya Kadosh, who taught us in a Sefer Harikutim, sorry, not Harikutim, but Harikutim, not Girigulim. That's what I wanted to say. Harikutim, where he mentioned about the Girigulim of from Ham to Ben Shchai. You did not consult perhaps that. It is disappointing that a person of your stature or your stature could make at this very time, could make such remarks of stigma. Many rabbis of your discipline, of your custom, minhag, many of them, they are quoting Ariya Kadosh. Why do we have got selective truth? Some of your fellow rabbis of the same minhag are quoting Ariya Kadosh. Did they forget to see that? In Sefer Harikutim, did they forget to see that? Where Ariya Kadosh break it down, how the souls from Ham came back through Girigulim. Yeah. You will also come across that Eved Avram is a Girigulim of somebody. Ariya Kadosh is a Girigulim of somebody. So is Ben Ishchai. And these are the people who have mentioned in the book of Yashar. I doubt whether you would repudiate what they have written. Going back, you quoted the Masechet Sanhedrin, but you did not finish that. Probably you did not go further than that, what you have quoted. Mazutra is mentioning about the 10 tribes that were dispersed in the continent of Africa. Oh, yes. But in your general statement, you said, the choice of your word, you said, Africans. You did not say only the children of Canaan. Yes, you made a particular, and you made the general statement to that effect. Where is your tikkun olam? Where is it? I think from the Torah perspective, you put me a person of background, meaning African, Bene Israel for that matter. This makes me to think, because you put me in a corner, to make me think that this is how you perceive me as a convert of African descent. This is how you perceive me. Behind doors, you have got something else. But when we meet you and I meet in the Beit Knesset, no, we smile. But yet you have got something. And also, why is it this is stigma extended to this now? Perhaps we did not, my dear fellow rabbi, maybe you did not perhaps also visit some Masachetot where the very same guy called Alexander the Great came to Africa. What did he come to look for? The emperor said, he wrote in front of his city, Macedonia, I could not have gained wisdom until I went to the land of Africa. For what? Masechet Tamid went on to explain. He came to look for the true dispersion of justice. The very same Africans that you are saying are slaves, the very same Africans that you deprecate all the time, they understood and they knew the sense of justice. It's not the way you are portraying them to be. They are not. Read your text. Don't just be limited to one masechet and you think that is all. No, there are so many things. Okay. Enough of that for today. I prefer that my fellow rabbi, you engage us, the chief rabbinate of Africa. We will be able to orient what you have missed, to reorient you. If you put this stigma aside, with Hashem's help, we will be able to have a really tikkun olam. And we will see Ben Ish Chai in the Pasha of this very week. Miketz. We will see how it's so vital that you and I put the stigma, all of these prejudices aside. They don't defeat the people of the book. They don't defeat Bnei Israel if you are one of them. I'm saying if you are one of them. It's a very strong statement to make. If you are one of them. If after I have said, my fellow rabbi, Ben Ish Chai, we are going to learn a bit from, not a bit, we are going to learn from Ben Ish Chai on his halachot of tefillah. Tefillah is translated as a prayer. Shana Rishona, the first year. Ben Ish Chai, we know what we are talking about. Ben Ish Chai. We know who Ben Ish Chai is. And I know that my fellow rabbi knows. If you don't study him, it's unfortunate. Ben Ish Chai deals with, in this book, deals with the first year and the second year. In the first year, he deals with the halachot that we are obligated to know in order to perform halachot. Not to perform halachot, pardon me, in order to perform the mitzvot. Halachot in everything that we do. Here on this one, he is dealing now with the tefillah. Translate, I don't know, in all sincerity, I do not know what it means, prayer. But when it comes to Hebrew, I've got that sense and a deeper understanding of what tefillah is. On this parsha, he deals with the halachot on a tefillat shacharit, the morning prayer, translated as morning prayer. But it is always the case with the Dosi Gedolim of Torah, Dosi the great one of the Torah. Just as we keep on saying, particularly from the Chief Rabbinate of Africa, we are saying the Torah is not a textbook. Don't read it as no. It's like a conventional textbook. In a textbook, we are much concerned with the sentence. Oh, this sentence does not make sense. All of this paragraph does not make sense. All of the idea according to the paragraph and the idea of the paragraph should complement each other. Should complement each other, one way or the other. All else does not make sense. That is how the what is it? What is that? I forgot it now, that word again. In a conventional way, how they interpret, they learn in academia. In a conventional way. A sentence or a paragraph, and everything in that paragraph must complement each other, must make sense. It's not unfortunate. That is how not the Torah was arranged. So the Gedolim, the sages, they would select, not only select, they would take even one word out of a sentence, or a couple of words out of sentence, or a sentence out of the paragraph. And they deal with this word by word, what it means. This is one of the method of Ben Ish Chai. Ben Ish Chai, on the parsha of this week, he took a passage, a specific passage of a verse, a particular verse. In Bereshit, chapter 43, 43, and the Pasuk 11. It reads as follows. In Ivrit, Vayomel alehem, Israel avihem, imiken apo zot asu, kahu mizrat haaretz, bekelchem That is the pasuk that he chose. And it went on to say, Ve'ahoridu la'ish mincha. Why did he only choose that? Okay, let me try to. Okay, it reads as follows in a translation. Then their father, Israel, said to them, if it must be so, do this. Take some of the choice product of the land in your baggage and carry them down as a gift for the men. And it went on to list. Let me remind us, this is the case when it says there was a starvation in the land of Canaan. Most of us, if not all, particularly when you are coming from the religious background, they will tell you there was a famine in the land of Canaan. And we took it literally to mean, no, it was a starvation. Because that is what we are reading in the translations. It's unfortunate not. It's not like that. Yes, that's what we have said. That's what the Torah says. That is what not that, but it's not what it means. So it says now Yaakov sent his 12 sons. No, not 12 sons, 10 sons. So they wanted to buy some, they wanted to buy provisions for the entire family. And they came back and the provision got exhausted or depleted. Now he has to send them back. Go back. Now this is the episode after somebody was kept hostage by the ruler of Mitzrayim, and we know who it is. In this case, I mean, it's not in this case; it's Joseph, according to the Torah. Now, when they came back, I mean, when the father was now speaking to them, he said that Israel said to them, meaning to his children, go. Their father said, go. And he said, Im ken efo zot asu. In that case, Paul, so that, yeah, in that case, so they did this. What did they do? Kahu. They said, Kahu, they took, according to the translation, they chose, what is this? Mincha. Says, bear with me. It says, take, I mean, carry them down as a gift for the men. It speaks about palm, it speaks honey, it speaks of gum, it speaks about ladanum, pistochio, nut, and almond. These are the gifts that Israel. And guess what? Now, the Torah did not use the word Yaakov, it uses the word Israel. The highest name of Yaakov. That's what it uses. It said, and they go down to the men. We will see what is the code behind this word, laish. It's not just man. Okay, man. To the man, mincha, it's a gift. וכולי, and so on. נראה לי, בשייעתא דשמיא, it appears to me, M עליון, pardon me, בשייעתא דשמיא, ידוע, that you and I must know, we must know, hey, the hey, ראשונה, בשם הוויה, נקרא M עליון. For now, we are now familiar with the name Havaya. The name Havaya consists of only 4 letters, Hebrew letters. As a matter of fact, they are not Hebrew letters. Kitavi Asuri. For those who are following the Chief Rabbinate of Africa, you are now familiar with this, that those are not the Hebrew letters. Even it's good to learn them, but that's not mean that you are learning Hebrew letters. The name Havaya, Yud Hey, Vav Hey. There are in this name, or this light, there are 2 masculine letters and 2 feminine letters. The first letter, Yud, is masculine, followed by Hey, is a feminine. Now here, Ben Ish Chai is teaching us something, that the first Hey that we encounter in the name Havaya is called M, Elion. What does that M mean? It means the upper Ima. From the Mekubalim, we know that we use the language of man, because the Torah was written in the language of man to relate, but does not mean things are the way they are being described. So M, it refers to M Elion. Vegam Hey Acharona. Nikara M. Even the last Hey of the name Havaya, it's also referred to as M. How so? Shei Ima Tata'a. Tata'a is, I was trying to find the corresponding word to the word Tata'a, but I could not find it in English. But the closest one is wonderful. It refers to, it says, Shehi Ima, that last Hey is a wonderful mother. Ima Tata'a. That is the closest translation I could find. Ela, but, or however, or consequently, Shezo Nikara Beshem Ken. This is, consequently, it is called Beshem, is called Ken. What is Ken? Ken is something like you said, yes. Well, you said, not really Nachon, but yes, but it says Nachon. It gives us the same idea. דהוא כן ומושב לכל העולמות. דהי, because the word can, not because the word, not because. Dehī, that is she, meaning that last hey, is the seat of all the world. What does that mean? The seat of all the world. That last hey. For us, for those who have been following the Chief Rabbinate of Africa for a couple of years, we are saying, and we have been teaching, because that is how we have been taught. And that's what we are learning every day. What does it mean, the seat of the world? All the world, not one world, but the world. Okay, let's go to the name Havaya. On a previous limud, our limud, Vayashev, Ben Ishchai oriented us to the four kohot, that everything is rooted in these four kohot. What are these kohot? Is Yud, K, Vav, K, called Havaya, because we are not permitted to pronounce it the way it is being pronounced. So everything is rooted from there. Now, these four letters are corresponding to the four worlds. If we have to start with our world here, the world of Asiya, the world of doing and making, and then we go to the world of Yetzirah, the world of Bariah, and the world of Atzilut. The world of Atzilut is hard to describe it because there are no letters there. We come to encounter the letters in the from the world of Bariah, which is translated as the world of creation. So the four letters are corresponding to this world. So in other words, when Ben Ishchai is telling us here that that last hey of the name Havaya is the seat of all the world, meaning from the upper going down, all the world are sitting on that last hey. And we know that last hey is also being referred to as Malkut. So within also that very hey, if we change if we transform this very hey into different category, we would find also that within that very one world, all the world before preceded that world, this world, they are also included in there. They are also in there. So just like, for example, you have got a chair. You are seated on the chair like now, you and I now, each one of us is seated on his or her own chair. The very same chair that you are seated on becomes the seat of the world. So the world of Yetzirah, the world of formation, the world of Bariah, and the world part of the world of Atzilut are seated right on your chair. That's why it's being referred that way. It continues, Shehi Sofa the whole Dragin Keadua. It is the end. Ben Ishchai says it's the end of all these midragot degradations, levels of different worlds. That means the last year is the culminations of everything that we know of. There is nothing beside of it. Everything ends there. Everything known in the Torah ends there. As it is known. It is when the Mekubalim are saying, the sages, those Gedolim, when they are saying as it's known, that means during their generation and before their particular generation, this was the common knowledge among the scholars. So that's why he does not need to elaborate more, just like we are doing in the Chief Rabbinate of Africa, trying to shape the mind, trying to elevate and to extract the sparks, like you, my dear Tzadikim and Tzadakot. Baruch Hashem, we were already extracted. Now this is about to extract you. From where? We will see, Be'ezrat Hashem, in a few minutes. He went on to say, Vezehu she'amar, im ken. And it is said, as it is said, im ken, if he so, why would you change now from M to im? Okay. Kariva, M. No, he went on to say, no, don't read it as im, but read it as M. Ben Ishchai, where are you driving us? You are now twisting our mind and playing our mind with vowels here. How do I know? He said, Betzerei. Tzerei is a vowel. When he said im, that means the first letter of the first letter goes with a chrik, a dot, just a dot underneath. So the reading of it would read im. But now Ben Ishchai changed that chrik to tzerei, which is a double dot, not like this, not like this, but like this, two dots underneath of the first letter called Aleph. Rotze Romar, you wanted to say, Im shehi ken, that M we have read, is ken. You wanted to say, M shehi ken? Yes, that's what I wanted to say. This is Ben Ishchai saying, yes, that's exactly what I wanted to say. At his level, he said, that's what I wanted to teach you. We will see, Be'ezrat Hashem. And then he went back to the passage of the Torah, of the verse that he quoted above. Now he's going to dissect word by word for us to understand what that pasuk means. Not only what it means, how you should relate to it and how it relates to you as Bnei Israel. To somebody else, no, sorry, it does not. But to you as a Bantu Israelite, it relates to you, you relate to it. It went on to say, Efo Zot Asu. That is, he just took 3 words out of that verse that he quoted above. What does that mean? They did this. They did this. They did this. What did they do? Meaning his children did this. What did they do? Zot. Now we remember the very same word that he quoted from the verse that he just brought or deduced or produced for us to learn from. He selected one word, zot. What is it, zot? Zot is when in a feminine, I mean in a masculine, no, feminine. In a feminine principle, when you said that, all of this, in a feminine principle, you said zot. Only 3 letters, zot. And they said, zayin, ot, meaning the letter zayin, at the beginning of the word zot, what does it say? Remez. Remez le'etiot, Hashem ve'akiseh. That is zot. It refers or it hints to the name Havaya and his throne. That word only. I'm not that word. That letter only. How so? Ben Ishgai went on to say, or remez, or he gave an alternative. He gave another interpretation of that letter. Why that letter of the word zot? Remez le'otiot Shaddai. Ve'otiot Adanut. It refers or it hints, that is what, it hints to a name called Shaddai. Remember, my master, some of you are in the group that my master gave you the mood on Sunday. Baruch Hashem Itbarach. His name is Shaddai. So here, Ben Ishai says that very Zayin, it refers or it hints to the letters of the name Shaddai, the Otiot Adanut. How so? First you said, no, it refers to Hashem and or to the letters of the name meaning Havaya, and also the throne, the chair. You know, from the religious point of view, we are familiar with this because we have got that background. God is seated on the throne of glory. We are familiar with that. And they said another alternative or interpretation, it hints to the name or to the letters of Shaddai and Adanut. How so? It says, Shenipigamu bechete Adam vechava. He is hinting us to okay, let me go back to the letter Zai. Gematria value, meaning if you turn that letter into numerical value, it gives us number 7. Remember, if we do not, if we don't grasp the concept of number 7, it will be unfortunate that we do not understand anything about our environment, about this thing called life, of anything that is done under the sun and beyond. We don't understand, because everything that is happening here, everything that have got any effect on you as a human being, is rooted in that number 7. How so? For example, your calendar. Your calendar is not the calendar that the Occidental nations and civilization gave it to you, gave it to us. And the Bnei Israel or Jews who are saying Ham was cast, It's unfortunate that they are also determining the calendar based on Occidental mindset of determining what not determining, not determining. They are using those calendars as the basis of determining what Shabbat is and is not. But that is not what the sages are saying. They omit, for whatever reasons, they omit or they put that aside. It's their own problem to deal with. We deal with the text. The Chief Rabbinate of Africa deal with the text.
Mhm.
So now, if you put
Kapten, seid ihr fertig?
I think hello, shalom there. I think we have got an echo somewhere there.
Jetzt. Okay. Ja, okay. Danke. Ja.
Hello, Chadikim, Chadakot. Somebody's mic is closed. There is an echo from somebody. I cannot identify exactly as to who, but there is an echo of somebody there. Okay, we continue. The letter Zayin, grammatical value is 7. Now, if you take the name Havaya, 4 letters, and you take the name the name Kise. Kise, the throne, has got only 3 letters, whereas Havaya has got 4 letters. Now, 3 times 3 is, we know, simple mathematics. It's 7. That's the first interpretation of Ben Shchai is giving us. The second is Shaddai, 3 letters. And the Adanut, 4 letters. And he is saying, these letters were corrupted. These letters were corrupted by the sins of Adam and the Chava. But the sin, these letters of those higher names were corrupted. Probably the question is, does a man have got that ability and the capacity to corrupt the letters of those higher names? Yes. That's why I said at the very beginning, I opened with I opened with that audio clip. My dear friend, if you are not careful with your tongue, with your thought, and with your action, you bring a pagam, blemish in all this world that we have talked about. You know, I'm bringing something sensitive, but it's something that we, the Bnei Israel, have to deal with. You know, when something happened to us, Bnei Israel, regardless of color of skin and regardless of locations, the first thing that the first person we point the fingers to is a non-Jew. And we are saying, we have to retaliate, because we have got a command of the Torah that we have to eradicate, not eradicate, but eradicate Amalek. My dear friend, if you have got these stigmas and the prejudices, what makes me not to think that you are one of them? Hiding yourself. What damage do you cause with these prejudices If you could cause damages in those spiritual dimensions, how much more here? If you understand the Ben Shai's teaching and all the generations, Mekubalim, I'm talking about Mekubalim, they have taught us that everything that you see here has got a resemblance at its root, meaning it has got a counterpart there. If you are causing damage here, that means there too. At the very root of that thing that you are causing damage now, whether it's with your thought, or it's with your words, or with your action. Continue with Ben Shai's, and he selected one word out of the passage that he just selected before. He just selected now one. He turned in one. He was dealing with a broader picture. Now he wants now to, as it, he want us to focus our mind to one particular word, which is asu, and they did. Translated as they did. Rote Romara, you wanted to say, taknu. What is it, taknu? They fix. Taknu, or we fix? Fix what? Kemo, like Bereshit chapter 18 and verse 8. There we encountered not the instant, the episode of Avraham Avinu, alav shalom, when he instructed some of his household to prepare something. The Torah there, it uses the same word, asu. They prepared, or they did. You know, I learned from my master, the first interpretation that the sages of Torah have given, first time interpretation they have given to a word, no man should deviate from or digress from that. This is where tradition comes into play. Uven, Vabakar Aser Asa. He just quoted exactly what was, just checked out. What was said in that, he just quoted what that pasuk said. The episode of Avraham Avinu. All Zot, he reverted. I'm not reverted, he went back to his initial word, Zot. All Zot, Kinu la Torah. La Torah. Kemo Shiamru, Rabotenu, Zichronam Riveracha, Bamidrash Rabbah. Now, Ben Ishchai is telling us, Kinu. Pardon me, I just wanted to see the vowel clearly. Okay, yeah, Kinu. Kinu. All this, he said, all this, it may refer to or hint to the Torah. Why? Because Zot is a nickname of the word Torah. How do we know that? And he said, as it is being referred to in the Midrashim, according to the sages of Torah, of blessed memory, they referred to, or it is referred to in Midrash Rabbah. Not long ago, I've mentioned in our previous limud, my master, in one occasion, he said, he called his rabbis. And I was one of those rabbis. In fact, at that time, we were only two. We were two. And he called us and he said, you know, the secret of things in this level of existence and beyond are hidden in the tefillot, meaning in the prayers, and also in the midrashim. So Midrash Rabbah is one of those midrashim. Zot kinu la Torah. That is Zot, the word is Zot, is a nickname referring to Torah. Kemo deata amar devarim. Here it says, as it is, all like, as he said in a Devarim, the book of Devarim, chapter 4, verse 44. Vezoti HaTorah. For those who have been, who have, who've got experience with Jewish services in every Beit Knesset across the world, wherever you have got a Jewish community that have got a synagogue, and I would really love to see Bnei Israel, you have got Beit Midrashim. I started from the Southern Africa, where I am, and where I was assigned as a chief rabbi of Southern Africa. I would love it to see in every country to the Southern Africa, we establish formal Beit Knesset, meaning Beit Midrashim. We can meet Beit Midrashim, the synagogue where we pray, where we study Torah. Yeah, and the way you will experience the meaning of things during the services. So Zot HaTorah, we read this on the days that the Torah is read on publicly. When do we read the Torah in public? That's halacha. When do we read the Torah publicly? Ezra declared on Yom Sheni, meaning on what is called Monday, we read the Torah publicly. And on Thursday, we read the Torah on public. Not in public or like on the street, no. It means it's when we open the Haron, the ark, where the Torah scroll is being kept. And on Shabbatot, whether this is a Shabbat, a real Shabbat. Okay, now we have got that Shabbat. The majority have decided. On Shabbat, we open and we read the Torah to the congregation. On Chagim, meaning on the holidays, we read the Torah to the congregation. And when the Torah is being taken out, what do we say? Zot HaTorah. This is the Torah that what? That Moshe gave it to us, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave to us, or Moshe, meaning through Moshe, gave it to us. Okay, we don't use this pointing finger. Some of us we do this with this small finger. Okay, there's a big meaning to that. It's not a subject of today. So, yeah, we continue. Maybe I have to jump here and there. And it says, Zot, Kinu, La Tefillah. He gave another interpretation and said, Zot is also a nickname for prayer. Tefillah. Is it Tefillah? כמו שנאמר, as it is written, or as it has been said, ומלכים Aleph, meaning in the book of Kings, the first king, chapter 8. We remember, this is the long prayer of Shlomo HaMelech. You know, when they keep on pushing me back now and then, for whatever reasons, they have got their reasons. I remember I went to the hotel many times. I remember the life I left behind. I'm not saying it was good, I'm not saying that it wasn't good, but I had life. I had life. I look at what I did to my family. I left my family behind. And I look at, according to the imagination of man, had I not left, had I not have left, what would have become of me by this time? A business person, a politician, a pauper, God forbid. What would I have become? I don't know, but I cried there. Because in that long prayer of Shlomo HaMelech, there is a passage, I don't have it now. There is a passage that Hashem, if a ger comes here and pray, hear his prayer. Here is a prayer. I capitalized on that. I said I came from a distant land. And I'm here. I don't have any close relative here. Although the one I see is just a human being, my fellow human being. I collapse. It's out of humanity that somebody will help me out. But I'm just a single man. Every convert is like that. Do not expect somebody to, do not expect that the world will be behind you. When you take that journey, remember, you will be alone. But not alone in the sense of being alone. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will be with you. And of course, when the time comes, the Chief Rabbinate of Africa, the rabbis of the Chief Rabbinate of Africa will be there to guide you throughout to the end. Be'ezrat Hashem. It says, Vayhi klalot lishlomo leitipalel el Hashem. It's just exactly what I have said. Maybe I was too fast. Et kol atefila ותחתנו, והתחנה הזאת. Why? Because the station, okay, we read further for us to understand. וכן בדוד הוא אומר, על כן מצא עבדך להתפלל לפניך את התפילה הזאת, just as it is said. Ben Ish Chai is hinting to us that tefillah is also said, it's being referred, only has got a nickname called Zod. For example, he says, therefore, your servant has defined their prayer to pray before you. And that prayer is called Zod. Vahenu רוצה לומר. And you wanted to say, על ידי היסק התורה, והתפלל, תתקנו את ה' אחרונה, ונקרא אם, ונקרא כן. You wanted to say, through, what is this, a sec. A sec is to delve into the Torah of the deep Torah. It's not just, okay, I am washing my hand and that is what is required of me by the halakha. No, you have to understand when the Torah speaks about yad, what is yad? Because the yad that you see, the hand that you see, there is a hand up there. But you have to understand the secret of the hand. I give you one. Give you one. The Torah speaks about 5 Hasidim and the 5 Gevorot. What is 5 Chamesh Hasidim and the Chamesh Gevorot? It refers to the new man. There was an old man and there is now a new man. A new man is arranged exactly, all your body is exactly arranged according to the formation of that new man. And it is called a tree of life. This is the arrangement of the Sephirot. You have got the Ketel, you have got the Chokhmah, you have got the Bina, you have got the Chesed, and you have got the Gevurot, Gevurah. And the 2 letters, the feminine letters, Hey, Rishona, and the Hey, Acharona, they are referring to Chesed and Gevurah. And Avraham is an epitome of Chesed. That's why when, for example, you perform Netilas Yadayim, how do you do Netilas Yadayim? You use first your right hand and pass it the vessel to your left. Not washing, you pass it to the left. Because it is not proper that the Gevurot gives the first stage, gives it to Chesed. No, it's the opposite. Chesed should be able to give it to the right, to the left, which is the Gevurah. What is Gevurah? Gevurah is translated as severity. Everything that has got too much with dinim is on the left. So you pass it, and the left paw first on the right. But the end of that process, the left must be the last. Meaning, the right washes or pour the water on the left. So we will deal with this, Ezrat Hashem. So here, Ben Ishchai is telling us that do you want to tell us that we have to delve deep into things of Torah? Yes. It's written. It's not me saying. It's not my master who wrote it. My master also got it from through the line of his teachers, until you trace us to Moshe Rabbeinu. So esek, it means to delve into the Torah, and this is the focus. This is the world of the Chief Rabbinate of Africa, to delve into the secret of the Torah, in order for us to enable us to navigate this turbulent world. Also, in order for us to what is this the right word? Dispel these stigmas, these prejudices that we are only meant to look at onto others either for survival or for spirituality or anything. That is not what the Torah says. We have to delve into the deeper things in order for us to understand, in order to elevate each man to elevate himself. In a previous limud we have learned, a tzaddik is not satisfied with any station at all. He's always trying to connect his station wherever he would find himself. He is always striving to get what? To get vitality from the prototype. The prototype called Havaya. We go, and he said, to delve into the Torah and the prayer, that we fix the last hay. My dear good friend, fixing the world is not a small thing that, well, you only teach somebody how to greet properly and how to respond and how to, not how to think, but to avoid so many things to come into his mind. It's not about it's not only about how, according to Allah, how to put on your clothes and how to take off your clothes. It's about tikkun midot. It's not only about that. It's not only confined that. It goes further. It goes even higher. The last hay. Can you imagine? The last hay of the name Havaya, that is transcendental light, is what you should fix. So, my dear friend, those who are inclining to religions, don't tell us about God. Bnei Israel does not look for God. Bnei Israel, we do not look for God. No, we have got our position. We are the light, the world. And we are here on a mission to fix. Let's go, and we will, we will end. Oh, we will end soon. It went on to say, the last letter, Hanikara M. That last letter is called, is being referred to as M. Nikara Ken, referred to as Ken. Perush, Hadavar, explanation of this matter. And he went on to say, Kehu, he took another last passage. Of the same verse that he uses. First, Kehu Mizrat Haaretz. What is Kehu? Take from the choicest product. It's translated as that way. But wait a second. Kehu Mizmirat, Mizmirat Haaretz. From the choice of the land. I wanted to say this once again, my dear friend, in passing. The chief rabbinate of Africa, is it being headed by the chief rabbi of Africa, Chief Rabbi Pinchas Elchanan, way back a couple of years ago. He said, do not detach yourself from the land of your ancestors. Do not detach yourself from the land of your ancestors. And in many cases, in many limudim, he said, try your level best to eat the food grown from the land of your ancestors. Why? Because when we talk about the land of ancestors, we talk about your ancestors. And this is what the Occidental nations understood, may not understood it fully the way we understand it. They understood according to their own level, and they have started exploiting it for hundreds of, or for centuries, to disconnect you and I from the land of our ancestors, even including the food from the land of our own ancestors. What did they replace? They replaced the food that were known by our own ancestors with all this food that we do not know. And they took upon themselves the title deed to this land. That means, my dear good friend, even if you are saying, no, this is our land, no matter what country you are from, as long as you do not have that land in your hand, as long as you are disconnected, remember, you are just a foreigner like anybody else. Yes. But wait a second. Don't you see the same thing implied when my fellow rabbi of a different minhag said to us, you are a slave of slaves? Don't you see that dust in what he said? My dear friend. Okay, we go on. Be careful about the land of ancestors. Hemi tefilat. Hemi hatefilot sheyesh bahem sheva mizra. The explanation that kehu mizmirat haaretz hemi tefilot. This haaretz, or take it from the choicest product of the land. This refers to tefillot. It did not say tefillah as being one, but tefillot. When you read it, the Torah speaks about the choice, the product of the land. This does not refer to things grown in the land. No apple or no banana or no this and that. It does not refer to that. It refers to tefillot, tefillah. How many tefillot do we have? It depends which occasion. But every day we do have got 3 tefillot: Sacharit, Mincha, and the Arvit. Yes, sir. With the exception of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and so forth and so forth and so forth. It goes to up to 5 tefillot. And it says, Sheyesh Bahem Sheva Vezimira. And in them we do have got melodies and the praises. Melodies and the praises. You know, many years ago, I passed at the Johannesburg, because I was also part of the Jewish Indaba 2014 in Johannesburg, held in Johannesburg. And the one convert made a statement and said, you know what? We have got the melodies that other nations do not have. I'm too sure that on this, right now, on this platform, we do have got my fellow African Americans. Tell me the most famous singers in America, and perhaps in Europe. mostly the African Americans, they have got that melody. I'm not demeaning others. No, understand. Because we are too insensitive when it comes to a person of this color of skin. We are too insensitive to hear. But when the opposite is being said, no, no, you are too sensitive. Why do you become so insensitive when it hurts me? Why? Again, we got back prejudices, biasness, and all these stigmas. Concluding, these are melodies and the praises being referred to. Gam, and also Bahem Hiye Zemer. And he said, also in them will it be Zemer. Zemer is translated as as melodies. But there is something else I wanted to give it in passing. When you look at the word Zemer, 3 letters, the gematria value gives us 247. Imicolon with the word itself, it gives us 248. Where do we see this? Then we are talking about Abraham 2, and we are talking about the positive commandment, the mitzvot, Ramach. Just have that. And it speaks about Tyran, Aritzim, Aliyadeh, through Haberul Shel, Nitzotzi, Kedusha, Kedusha, Hanaase, Aliyadam. In fact, the idea here, without translating word for word, the idea here is that through these melodies, Ben Ishchai is portraying us a picture that is to differentiate between the sparks of holiness and the opposite. Through this, these melodies and the praising, there is inherently ability and the power to make it clear and the distinction, to clarify and to put a distinction between what is holy and what is not. Remember, this should not be your human definition. It's HaKadosh Baruch Hu's definition. And his standard is not subjected to a man's approval. Neither the opposite. But it requires us to understand and to do what he expected us to do in his Torah. And he went on to say, the last word he uses here is Bechilechem, in your vessels. Literally, it says in your vessels. What is he referring to? Remez, letitot, lenititot, kedusha, shenikarim, kelim. It refers to the sparks of holiness that are being referred to as kelim, kenoda, as it is known, besod tevrat hakim. This is where I wanted us to come. It's a very long one, but let me, because of time, I took much more for your time, considering some of you are in the time zone that requires you also to to have a rest, in order to prepare yourself for the next day, for labor, for work, a job, and so forth. So I do not want it to take much of your time. So let me end this with this very passage. The concept of Shevrat HaKelim. You know, in the world, we do have got this thing called Big Bang. It's a concept. It's a term that was employed by scientists in order for them to understand this level of existence. And they said there was a Big Bang. And for us, for many of us who are not familiar with the Torah, we think, oh, no, our scientists, they are toppest. Yes, Baruch Hashem for their achievement, for trying to understand this world, the universe. But it's not a reason of negating the Torah or to put the Torah aside and think that the Torah did not say it. It said it is. The Torah speaks about here now Ben Shchai is bringing us to this thing where the scientists have borrowed the idea and they call it Big Bang according to them. In the Torah is called Shevirat HaKelim, the breaking of vessels. The purpose of coming of Bnei Israel coming into the world, as we see the first picture of Yaakov going to buy, apparently to go and buy, and what is this? Provisions. The Torah did not say provisions. It used Yashev. No, not Yashev. It uses the word Shev. What is this Shev? No, this is a hint to sparks of holiness that are trapped in Mitzrayim. This is the reason why we are reading in the Torah the 17 years that 17 years Yaakov has been in Mitzrayim. The Torah describes as Tov. What is that word? I mean, that number 17. If you turn them into letters, they will spell the word Tov. What is Tov? Good. Why is it called Tov? Because he managed to convert people he found there. And many of you are part of those who were converted by Yaakov Avinu. But before that, there were a group of people who were converted by Yosef HaTzadik. Yosef HaTzadik, he converted. Where are what happened? What happened? How did these vessels shattered? You remember the case of Adam Arishon, having lost his seed 130 years in between there. This seed came periodically. They were there during the time of Mabul. They came there. They came back in the world called Sodom and Gomorrah. At the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, they came back in Mitzrayim. Yosef HaTzadik converted some of them, and not some of them, he converted them. And Yaakov came also to convert them. Why? Because Yaakov is also part of Adam Arishon. A part of Adam Arishon came back to do what? Exactly to rectify the damage that was caused. I wanted to end. What does it Laish mean? I'm jumping. La ish remezi lot laot vav deshem havaya nikara beshem ish. This word la ish to the man. That no, not to the man, but to man, to a man. That to a man, it refers or it hints to the letter vav in the name Havaya. That's why it is refers to as ish. Remember, some of us are familiar with this. Be careful how you treat every single letter, every single word of the Torah. Because the Chazal, the sages, have got their own interpretation according to the tradition passed to them through time. And this is the tradition that we keep on, the Chief Rabbinate of Africa keep on saying, tradition. Shenikara Bashem Ish. In there it is referred to as Ish. Mincha, Mini Habirula Haele. Or Minicha, Chem, Chen, Ma. The word Minicha consists only of only 4 letters. Mincha, he took the first and the last letter. And this the combination of the 2 letters, they spell the word Ma. What is Ma? Ma is translated as what? But if you turn into the gematria value, it turns to as Adam. But which Adam is this? Adam is referring to when you are using alafim, the letter when you are do the milui of the name Havaya using alafim. It's a little bit technical. When you are using the aleph, or when you are doing a milui of Havaya using aleph, it will give you 45, and it's called Adam. And that Adam is not applicable to this level of existence, to the world of Asiya. It hints also, it hints to the world of Yetzirah. Now comes the last word, Chen. What is a Chen? Ben Ishchai went on to say, Chen, it refers to Chen. Chen, we remember, Noah is also spelled with the same letters. Chen, it means kindness. My dear friends, I have exhausted you so much. Be'ezrat Hashem, I will incorporate this, the last part of this limud according to the teaching of Ben Shchai. Be'ezrat Hashem, in our next limud. What is the point here? Do not read the Torah and think that, well, you understand it when you read it in a translation. In a translation, you read the mind of the translator. The Torah is not a textbook. The Torah is not a novel that you think, no, or I think, no, what the sentence is saying, that is what it means. No, it's a word of God, it's a word of God. Says who? Says who? So before I conclude, my dear good friend, is there any question? Tzadikim, Tzadakot, I believe I'm not alone here. I can see a number of us here. Is there any question? Okay, I guess, but can you hear me? Or maybe I'm just speaking to myself.
No, yes, we can hear you.
Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem Yitbarach. My dear good friend, in a previous parashot, we have learned a lot about the 70 kings ever ruled before a king was all ruled over the nation of the Bnei Israel. Yeah, these are the Kelim. These are the Kelim. The mindset of these Kelim, these kings, they were so selfish. They were so selfish, and each one of them is only look at it to herself, and I think, oh no, I'm the way I am. Don't bother me. I don't bother you. So the light was too much in one of them, so it shattered. The light is shattered them. But where do we see the aspect of Shevarim Hakelim in the clip that we have just saw on the platform? There are many people. It's not only outside there, Bnei Israel, even within among ourselves. There are those who think that, no, unless they lay their hands on you, then it's only when you are blessed. Okay, this is my own, for lacking of better words. They do not recognize. They do not recognize the Torah or a person of my background. For example, to teach Torah, to understand the Torah, they position themselves through centuries, position themselves in the positions that everybody must look unto them for guidance. That's why they have got prejudices such as that. I remember my first time in Israel, somebody at a Shabbat table said to me, I have heard that you are coming from Africa. I said, yes. And I also have heard that, well, people in Africa are crazy. I said, I do not know what it means crazy. What do you mean? They said, well, I have heard that people are eating people there. I laughed. I said, well, after I finish this meal, you are next. I will eat you up. So everybody started laughing. But yes, I wanted to dismiss that idea. So, yeah, there is a mindset outside there. There is a the same mindset is within us. We are here to fix the world, but to fix the world, you have to put your prejudices aside. You have to put your biasness aside. You have to put those stigma aside. If you are calling yourself a rabbi, yeah, if you are calling yourself a rabbi, we have to put those prejudices aside. We know things. From the Torah that we learn every day, we know things. Even if we don't speak about them, even if we do not stand before your face and challenge you, does not mean that we do not know. So Torah is not genetic. Torah is about anyone who accepts, whether it's from Amalek, whether it's from wherever the person is coming from. If this person decides and accept the 613 mitzvot, you are not obligated to push this person or to send this person away. Yeah, So, my dear good friend, I have heard that, I saw that there's no question. I wanted to thank our followers at the different platform and those who participated virtually. Sadiki Kalomo, Sadeket Natalia, and Sadeket Adasa, the one who is referred to as Esther. I wanted to believe so. Sadeket Shalva, and the others, perhaps at the background I did not see. Those are the one I could see. Thank you very much for attending. Thank you very much for affording me your audience, your precious time. And I hope to see you next time, Ezra Hashem. And I wanted also to acknowledge, to thank my master for having created this platform, for having given us the link to connect. May Hashem continue to give you strength and in everything that you do in heading the Chief Rabbinate of Africa. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen ve'amen. Toda rabba, tzadikim tzadakot.
Thank you, Chief Rabbi.
תודה רבה, רבי.
Thank
Gam lachem,